Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Now, this is just a little thing, but I thought it was funny. Now, well, not this part, but as we all know, Indiana Jones 5 is in production. Spielberg's not really involved, Lucas not really involved, Kathleen Kennedy's in charge, and everyone is uneasy with that because she has a bad reputation among fans, especially the man babies. And Harrison Ford had another accident. He hurt himself on The Force Awakens. He's crashed his plane. He's 78. So recovery is not a quick thing. Now, at first they were speculating because they didn't know how serious it was. Now saying, well, we'll film around him and we'll just keep going with the production. Well, it's become clear that it's actually more serious and it's going to take 6 weeks for him to recover and they're going to have to shut down the production because I guess they just don't have that much to film around him. And the funny thing was, a lot of fans were attacking Disney for not taking it seriously and underestimating it and saying that they were going to keep going production when they're actually going to stop. And it's the usual suspects who are like criticising them as usual because they hate Disney. And it was just funny to see, I saw a video with Mr. H and he was pointing out the way that all these people were dogpiling on Disney because they have issues with Disney. And that he thought it was ridiculous because they didn't say for sure whether or not they would stay in production. They just said they'd try and work around him while they worked out what treatment he needed, and they would try and keep filming around him. That's all they said. But now the people are acting like they lied and all this, and I'm like, oh my God, are you actually calling out the fandom menace people who are all saying that's their usual stance with Disney, just to attack, and that they were actually saying this? He also attacked Doomcock a little while ago, and now he's criticising it. I find it curious. I'm not quite sure what his deal is because he was trying to be one of the Fandom Menace members when he was doing the shows with them and all that. So I kind of find that interesting. I'm kind of watching him because it's kind of interesting to watch sort of. Some people are separating themselves out from these groups because they realise, I think, that you really only have one direction to go with those groups. You have to be totally on with the alt-right and all that to sort of get the benefit of it all. And if you're not, and it limits what you can do. You can't just do videos on what you want. You have to do videos on what they say. And I think he wanted to be free of that, which gives him a little bit of credit. Although I do just think he's a muscle man who spends all his time at the gym. And I don't have a high opinion of him, but he does seem to at least have his own mind, which is curious. But Doomcock, of course, the usual stuff. Everyone, Clownfish, everyone is attacking Disney, of course. And I didn't really know what they expected because, I mean, they were just guessing what was going to happen with Harrison. So I don't know how they expect them to know and be able to make statements either way. But I was just curious to see people looking around. There seems to be a sense of people looking at the other sort of members of their little group and starting to get critical. And it's kind of curious to see that happening. But yeah, we don't know anything else about it. Just it's basically 6 weeks it's going to take from recovery, and they're going to have to shut down production for most of that because I guess they can only film so much around him. But it's shouldn't stop the overall release or anything like that. Unless he has another accident. But yeah, I just found that curious, so I just want to comment on that because I just found it curious. But hopefully he'll be okay for the rest of the shoot because I don't want them to have to rewrite the script or something, reduce his character or something because he can't actually perform. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. I know when Madonna got pregnant, they changed some of the dance routines on Evita, which always disappointed me because there were a couple of numbers I thought, God, that was dull. Why didn't they do something more? And then I found out that they had to change some of the things because she was pregnant. I'm like, why didn't you just use a stunt double dancer or something and they could do the big dips or something? So why would you actually alter it? I'm a bit worried they might do that with this film if he doesn't recover properly or he injures himself again, or just because of the whole wanting to limit that from happening again. Kind of like with Tom Cruise, how he got sick and they had to shut down the whole production. With COVID, there was a COVID scare, so like 14 days had to shut down. It's a big deal as well. There's that because he's also 78. So yeah, but I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I just find it curious that some of the members of the Phantom Menace and Geeks and Games are sort of turning on each other a little bit. It's sort of seeping in. I've seen a few people criticizing Jeremy as well. So yeah, I'm just going to watch that. I think that's really curious. Really curious. I'm going to go.